Just a microscopic little bit. Oh. Good luck. Whew. Holy shit. I really got dizzy like that in a long time. I just had the biggest head rush I've had in like years. Felt kind of good. So I thought I was going to faint. That wasn't so great. Before I start this, I want to listen to the story. It's pretty crazy. Crazy. It's a really good channel, this lawyer. Well, he's like a car guy type lawyer. I don't know, but this is a good story.
Coast Law. Here's Steve Lato.
Do believe what people sent me this story is scary concept. That's how it plays out. This word was first from Mashable.com, Chase People, Benedetto wrote it. If you watch certain YouTube videos, investigators demanded your data. So, in other words, putting this, that investigators have approached Google. We want to know who watched certain videos. Give that information up. So, as Chase writes, if you've ever jokingly wondered if your search is doing this is going to put you on some kind of watch list, your concern may be more than warranted. But it's going to happen to somebody.
They wanted the police.
Report documents reviewed by Forbes. Google was ordered to hand over the names, addresses, telephone numbers, and user activity of YouTube accounts and IP addresses that watch certain YouTube videos, which is part of a larger criminal investigation by federal investigators. So it turns out that these report documents which suggest that they went to a court and got a search warrant and said, give us this information.
That is crazy.
By undercover police, the suspected cryptocurrency launderer.
Oh. I didn't think that was going to be it. I thought it was going to be the full auto conversion videos.
Links to published YouTube tutorials on mapping via drones and augmented reality software. Forbes said the videos were watched more than 30,000 times, presumably by thousands of users unrelated to the case. And also, do we know for a fact that that person watched the video? It might not have. I'll let you know right now, I get dozens and dozens of the day that Steve, watch this video, watch the video. I don't watch videos and links that people email to me. I haven't had time. If I watch those videos, I literally have nothing else to do. I couldn't even sleep. So, Google ordered by federal investigators to quietly hand over all such viewer data for a week-long period of 2023, which was the first week of January. But Forbes can't confirm if Google had complied. That's the interesting point. The mandated data retrieval is worrisome in itself, according to privacy experts. Federal investigators argued the request is legally justified as the data would be relevant and material with ongoing criminal investigation, including by providing identification.
Okay. I didn't think it was going to be cryptocurrency. I thought for sure it was going to be the videos that teach you how to turn your gun into full auto, which I'm pretty sure even the videos themselves are illegal. Once I became a machinist, I had so many fucking people ask me to do it for them. I would never do that. Even if it wasn't illegal, I wouldn't do that. So, Company Heroes, I think this is from like 1999 or maybe 2000 or 2001. It's on my Windows 98 computer that I busted out of the attic last week. Whoops. I don't have a keyboard. It's kind of a pain in the butt. Oh, I got a fucking shot. So you can play this online or by yourself. Because this computer's so old, I'm not able to get online with it. Nor would this game disc play on my Windows 10, of course. I wish it would have. I was hoping so bad. So you could pick either the Germans or the Americans, and there's a whole list of maps. You start with the smallest one and go to the biggest. There's two on here that I really like where you can set up defenses enough that you could leave the game and they can't attack you, and you can build up resources like fucking millions and millions. I leave the thing sit for a day or two sometimes. I don't know. I want to say this type of game was called a RPG strategy, which is really misleading. But like a lot of the games of this era, you got to kind of get resources and build and improve your stuff throughout the gameplay with getting more and more resources, more and more like experience and different types of buildings and people, weapons, upgrades and supply yards, motor pool, barracks, health clinics, all kinds of stuff. What else? I don't really think I should go and play the ones that I do that with. It won't really give you a very good lesson. Trying to think. Point to Hawk, which is like modeled after an actual. This is where they actually had the D-Day landing, I think. Pretty sure. It's a little bit of a bigger map, so there'd be 4 teams. But because I'm playing alone and not like online or with anybody else, I close my extra guy. I'll close one of these. When I play the maps that I can defend, I'll keep all the enemy on, and I'll keep it on expert because I got it down pat so well. But it literally, you make a 1 second delay, it won't work, and you have to keep starting over. Trying to build your defenses on expert, they get through everything. You gotta do it just right. But if fact, let me, just for the sake of explanation, go on easy, because it's a pretty tough map. Yep, so you can pick the Americans or Germans, and they each got their own unique weapons and special, I don't know what the heck you would call it. If you're the Americans, you could pick one of three things. It's like a bonus. Either the airborne, the infantry. What the hell's the other one? I can't think of it. Airborne, infantry, and armor. Yeah, the armor. And each will have its own different stuff. And same thing with the Germans. You know, they'll have a blitzkrieg doctrine you could pick, or a defensive doctrine you could pick. And each one will give you different shit. I can't think of the other one. Zeal or something, where they just fight like crazy. I can't remember. This is your little home base. First thing you do is build these little guys called pioneers or engineers, depending on which side you're on. And they'll go out and capture these little resource points. Some are gas, some are ammunition. Generally, all the big fighting happens for the gas ones. You'll be constantly going back and forth for the gas. And your territories have to connect. You can't just run out and grab a gas way over here unless you're all, have captured the waypoints all the way to there. Otherwise, you won't get the resources yet. I think that'll be the case with this one because I don't have everything yet. So, build a couple more. At first, you can pick very limited things, but you can pick either a barracks or a weapons support center. One has like infantry and a jeep, and this one has like a sniper and some heavy weapons teams. So, what is this called? Commander selection. Infantry company, airborne, armor, each having its own group of advantages. I generally like the airborne for bigger maps too, especially being able to drop your guys in places, especially in enemy territory. Really helpful. They all have really cool stuff. Infantry has huge howitzer bombardments. You could call in artillery. Armor has real special tanks, pretty badass tanks, and some other perks where you can actually capture the waypoints with vehicles. It all depends what you want, though. Then you can build, machine gunner, mortar, sniper in this grouping. So you gotta start getting these waypoints, or these resources here. These flags, I think they're called flags. Once you have them and you're in your connecting area, which is apparently not yet, you can build a little observation post that makes it way harder for the enemy to just come and take it from you. They have to be connecting, and I'm not connected, so we'll get around, get some more waypoints here. My sniper out here. You can go invisible with your sniper, which is kind of cool. Alright, Because we're all connected. Nope. Yeah, damn it. Okay. It also raises the amount of resources you'll pull off of that area. So 16 would be how many you get per minute. You get 16 ammunition points per minute off of just this. And it'll rise. Now it's like double almost. Not quite double. I'm sure I'll start running into some enemies. Here going this, yeah, far into the center. I'll use my sniper and pick these guys off. So this is a motorcycle team. They'll kill your sniper very easily. You gotta watch out for those. Yeah, heavy weapons team. Once you get enough resources, you build this supply yard, and that'll get you the ability to build other shit that you can't until you build this supply yard, such as the motor pool and the tank depot. Had they put an observation post on this, it would have took twice as long for me to capture it. Oh, shit. Fuck. If I got enough to pick armor piercing, that'll fuck them up. The bastards. This will let you build some certain vehicles, like medium stuff. am I on the verge of puking? Whoa. Let's see if I can. The old defenses, so they can't come sneak this from me every chance they get. Oh, you cocksuckers. I need a sniper or something over here. So trying. Should be able to make a forward base, yep. So this way I can order certain troops and equipment from up here instead of all the way back at the base. This is an armored half-track, which you can upgrade with a big old gun. It's armored car, which you can also upgrade. Don't be a tank. Okay. This is a little thing called the Goliath. The Germans have a remote control bomb, basically. Super powerful too. Normally I wouldn't use a sniper to take a point, but oh, those cocksuckers came out of nowhere. Kill them bastards. Shit. Half track. Take bitch. Not sure what to do. What? Fuck. Just have to kick my ass. What's that? Let's go. Let's go. Ay. Take a little break. Fucking starving. And those snacks or chocolate. Oh, fuck it. I better plug in.
So that was their justification. In a case on New Hampshire, police had requested similar data during the investigation of threats that were being streamed live to YouTube, but that order specifically requested user information at select timestamps during the live streams. With all law enforcement demands, we have a rigorous process designed to protect the privacy and constitutional rights of our users while supporting the important work of law enforcement. The Google spokesperson told Forbes, we examine each demand for legal validity, consistent with development case law. We routinely push back against overbroad or otherwise inappropriate demands for user data, including objecting to some demands entirely. So Google says they'll be an asshole all the time, but do not always give what they ask for. Privacy experts, however, are worried about the kind of precedent the court's order creates, citing concerns over the protection of the First and Fourth Amendments. It's the latest chapter of a disturbing trend. See government agencies increasingly transforming search warrants into digital dragnets. That's the executive director of the Surveillance Technology Oversight Project, or STOP. It's unconstitutional, it's terrifying, it is happening every day. I do not know how often it is happening. That is the entire story for Matt. But that's really all you need to know. And so as technology progresses and changes, evolves, you discover that the law enforcement activities also have to change and evolve along the way. As you can imagine, there was a time when they might drop a search warrant on a telephone company and go, give us, the phone numbers of every single person who called this phone on this particular day or something. And so there's always been kinds of records out there kept by businesses about you that might be very, very intrusive in the hands of the wrong people. And so, of course, nowadays, you're on the internet. Your actions are being tracked by all kinds of entities out there. And so, of course, running YouTube has, I think it's over 1 billion distinct users in a given month. 1 billion people. So YouTube itself is quite a popular platform. And so for them to come along and say, okay, you got this one particular video, tell us every single person who watched it this 1 week. I'd be curious to know how big that number was. And of course, it depends on the video. I've got some videos that don't do that well, and a few thousand people watch them. It's been a while since I haven't been breaking thousands, but now they usually get 15 or 20,000 views the first day, and that's about really bad videos that don't do well. However, if somebody were to say, hey, we know for a fact this bad guy watched one of Steve's videos, we know that for a fact. So, the bad guy we're looking for is in the group of people, the set of people who watched that video. Therefore, give us the information of every single person who watched that video. And, that is a dragnet. That's the dragnet, by the way, in this context. We're talking about the fact that in an attempt to catch something, you just drag a net to literally sweep up everything in the general area. And so, it seems to be a little bit overbroad. Of course, the scary part is they got this information at the beginning. But we've known that for a while. I've been talking about this for a while, about how much information all your various things gather about you and who they give it to behind your back. You're not paying attention to your car's snitching on it and so on. So with your smartphone. And now, so with Google, on occasion, but I give you credit because they said specifically that we are following the case law. You've got a legal department, and we examine every request closely. And so the interesting thing is, we don't know enough of the procedure. Because generally speaking, what happens is somebody would go to a judge and say, look, we have a reason to believe that they've got information we need. What's the information? All the information on giving you a particular video. They probably said, look, there's billions of videos on YouTube. We just want the information in one video, 2 videos, whatever it may be. That sounds like a small number. But then you go, oh, but it's been viewed by tens of thousands of people. So we want information on tens of thousands of people. And suddenly you realize, okay, this is an extremely broad search. Could you narrow it a little better than that? And like I said, the bigger question I have is, how do we even know the bad person, who, by the way, is presumably good for our purposes, But the person you're looking for, how do you even know if they looked at the video? They might not have. So the chance that you're sweeping up all these people and turns out no, they didn't watch the video for all of them. So that's a concern. But of course, the other concern you have, and this is of course getting back to the first sentence of the story, where if you ever wondered if watching a video you want to watch it, that is always a concern. Is that what if somebody came along with it and said, hey, you know something? People should be watching that video. So we ask Google to take it down, but also give us the names of every single person who watched it. And let's go talk to them about why they watched that video. And suddenly you realize that in the hands of the wrong people, this information can be very, very hurtful. So there's that. But as of right now, we don't know if YouTube turned information over. It's something we don't have the story. But we do know that YouTube got served with the warrant saying, give us this information on everyone who watched this video in a 1 week period. And that would be a ton of information. And I assure you, there was one or two people, a whole bunch of innocent people got swept up in that. They might never know. They might never know. And by the way, how many times have you been on YouTube, just poking around, and you either saw a video that was interesting, so you clicked on it, or it auto-played you a video, just, oh, here's the next video. And 3 seconds in, you said, nothing, and you clicked off of it. And so that's another thing a lot of people don't stop to think about. When a video has been viewed 1 million times, it does not mean 1 million people logged in to watch it from beginning to end. More likely than not, of those 1 million people, the average person made it like 25 or 35% mark of the video before turning it off. Some people might have watched it all the way to the end, but many people failed quite early. And so if somebody had literally been just sitting at their desk with other work and a video played, and it auto is going to suggest another video, and that video played, and then it suggests a third video, and it was this video, for whatever reason, and it started playing you, I don't need to know about this, and you clicked on it. That's too bad, because you watched the video. According to the records, show that it played on your screen, on your desk. So that's one of the reasons that we're so worried about this. I do the thing for setting everybody else as well. From Mashable.com, Chase D. Benedetto wrote that if you watch certain YouTube videos in a particular time frame, investigators have ended your data from part of the larger investigation. Questions or comments, put them below this talk.
Thank you for watching Leto's Law. The first step is you have to say that you can.
A new year and a new adventure with the perfect Chevy to take you anywhere. With pure power unleashed and future-forward technology. Every path leads to new possibilities. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Welcome once again to Leto's Law. Here's Steve Leto.
I talk about civil passing over all the time about how police will pull a car over, and in the process of interacting with the person, roadside discover the person's got cash on them. And if the cash is any amount above what the person carries on them, they'll seize the cash. If you find this suspicious that you've got this cash, we can take it and put money back to us. And talking not too long ago about the guy in Wyoming who got already $14,000 of cash on him. They just go, want to bet it. So people in the comments routinely ask, and I saw the question so many times that it reminded me of, the whole joke about, hey, can you eat that? Starving children in China, right? Well, let's send them food to China, right? Well, the thing that people would routinely say about civilized foreigners is they go, why don't you pull over armored trucks? There's a big truck filled with cash. That's suspicious, isn't it? Why don't you pull over armored vehicles and just take the money? But here we are. Reason.com reports, this is why we report elsewhere in the news. Reason.com is doing great work on this, and they are helping expose this and get the word out. Quite a few people sent me the story. I'm not sure if I can thank everybody so you get that kind of time. Federal judge has declined to issue a temporary restraining order. You might say, what kind of case? A California sheriff remains free to rob armored cars, carrying money from state licensed marijuana businesses. So federal judges recently declined to issue a TRO against the California sheriff who uses civil forfeiture to rob armored cars, carry money earned by state licensed marijuana businesses. Now, in his ruling, the judge said that the company, which is based in Pennsylvania and transports cash between businesses and banks, may very well have an excellent case, but has failed to meet the high hurdle for temporary restraining order. And so what's going on here is that these armored cars are passing through a county where the sheriff, when he spots one, has pulled over and is carrying money from a marijuana business to a bank. Now, that's not illegal in California. However, there's still an issue with the feds. The feds still have not come out and said, yeah, you know something, marijuana's not a problem. And so because of it, it's a little loophole. The sheriff drives armored truck. San Bernardino County Sheriff deputies stopped the company vans 3 times in November, December, and January. They seized cash between the stops, making off a total of $1 million, which was then transferred to the FBI so the Justice Department and the feds could pursue forfeiture under federal law, which when the government prevails, they kick back 80% of the money to the Sheriff's Department under the Justice Department's equitable sheriff program. So it's all a scam. Everyone knows the sheriff grabs the money and gives it to the feds. And since the feds have got it, the sheriff can say, well, California law says that I can't grab it to keep it, but I can grab it to keep it. I gave it to the feds. And then the feds will fight over it in exchange for their 20%. And then when they win, they just take 80% of it back to the sheriff. The sheriff will go, I wasn't me. The feds can't win one. It's one of those games that almost no one buys, except for the people who are making money on it. If the government fails, the sheriff's department gets 80%. The earnings of state licensed marijuana suppliers are not subject to forfeiture under California law. State law does not allow this. So apparently the sheriff is thinking, well, if I seize the money, give the feds under federal law. The company, which is represented by the Institute of Justice, argues that San Bernardino County sheriff has no authority to seize money from businesses that are complying with state law, that the ban searches violate the Fourth Amendment, and its financial movement stops makes it inconsistent with due process. And those things have all appear to be quite obviously true, but it's got to get litigated. So what happened after the company got robbed a few times, it's obvious that it's going to keep happening. They keep going to San Bernardino County. They went to a judge and said, can you issue a court order to stop them from stealing the money? The judge said, I can't do this. And, my audience is quite sophisticated and intelligent. I tell you right now that a lot of people, without me saying this, will draw a parallel between this and the hospitals in Wisconsin, who went from a judge and got a TRO to stop at-will employees from leaving at will. So a TRO gets issued to the hospital, and the TRO got dissolved a couple days later because it was so obviously wrong. And here, a company's going to the judge saying, we keep getting robbed by the sheriff. Can you stop that? And the judge says, well, you have an excellent case, but you haven't met the high burden for a TRO. TRO standard is so high we couldn't possibly grant that. Now, in his defense, it's a federal court versus the state. But the standards for TRO, generally speaking, are roughly the same. In addition, the Justice Department is being sued along with a whole raft of other people like AG, the FBI, and so on. The company argues that federal officials are violating a congressional spending rider that bars the Justice Department interfering with the implementation of state medical marijuana laws. Regarding the last claim, the judge said that the evidence presented so far was not sufficient to establish that this company and its clients were operating in accordance with California laws. So in other words, the judge said, well, you're alleging that this sheriff is robbing you, you pass through, and that you're immune from that kind of robbery because you're complying with state laws, but I'm not sure if there's enough evidence that you are complying with state laws. So now, once again, the burden of proof is on the person. to say, prove to us this. Prove to us you abide by all the laws. Isn't it up to them to prove that you don't? The company says 3 of the 4 Memphises whose money was seized in November had medical marijuana licenses. It says all of the money seized on December 9th came from such businesses. So the company bears the burden to show by the preponderance of evidence that it has strictly complied with state medical marijuana laws, the judge wrote. The company has not come close to meeting that burden. The company's only evidence with respect to the issue of strict compliance is self-serving declarations from its CEO, and the value of those declarations is limited. So people often ask, how do you prove something is important? How do you prove anything important? How would you prove that you're complying with the law? Well, if the law they're asking you to prove, for instance, is the speed limit, to prove that you're not speeding, you can go into court and say, I wasn't speeding. I'll swear to that court, I was not speeding. Okay, that's a very simple law. The speed limit is a number, and we know how numbers work. So if I'm driving faster than that number, I'm speeding. If I'm driving slower than that number, I'm not speeding. So I go to court and testify and say, I was not speeding. Now, the judge will look and think, oh, that's a self-serving statement. What else you got, Judge? Is my testimony controverted? Did somebody testify otherwise? Unless someone comes to the court and says, I saw him, he was speeding, I caught him with a radar gun that's properly calibrated. Now you've got a controversy. But if the CEO of the company says we complied with all laws, there you go. That's uncontroversial. Unless someone comes to the court and goes, no, I can explain to you what laws they broke and show it to you. The judge then say, oh, no, tell me. Was that done here? I don't see it was. One of the Institute for Justice attorneys representing the company notes that the appropriation rider in Washington requires DOJ to not spend any money interfering with the state's implementation of medical cannabis laws. While the rider does not protect every business that this company serves, it should protect those with medical cannabis licenses that are in strict compliance with state law, and federal agencies should not be able to seize the proceeds. The judge was also unpersuaded by the argument that the sheriff exceeded his authority, since that claim hinges on demonstrating that businesses whose money his deputy seized were complying with state law. The company and its clients will comply with applicable state cannabis laws, the company says in its TRO application. But in the judge's view, that assurance is not enough to support a TRO, since the only evidence that they present is a self-serving declaration from a CEO. Here's the deal. I mentioned before, a temporary restraining order is something that's often issued in an emergency. So I run into court and I say, irreparable harm is going to be only tomorrow, unless I get a court order to stop something from happening. And I explain it all. The court usually looks at what's in front of it and then says, oh, I can see how, if this is true, this is going to happen. They'll grant the TRO and then issue an order for the parties to appear shortly and then examine what needs to be left in place, which is what happened in Wisconsin. The one hospital ran into court and said, irreparable harm will befall us if this entire department leaves en masse. Stop that so that we can avoid this harm. The judge may have even thought to himself, geez, well, I can't do that. But the allegation was there of irreparable harm. And so he said, I'm going to enter this for the time being, and we'll resolve it in a couple days. A couple days on the road, resolve it. So here, someone comes to court and says, we run a lawful business. We support lawful businesses to help them move currency. And a sheriff keeps stopping our armored trucks and stealing our money. Can you make him stop? And the judge says, well, all I got here is these self-serving statements. That's what should normally have at this kind of a hearing. Okay? What you can do, by the way, I'm lecturing a judge, but they get lecture appointments, so it doesn't matter what I say. What you can do is you issue a temporary restraining order, which the T stands for TRO, temporary restraining order, and you then bring the parties before you to see if it should be turned into a injunction. And that is where you say, okay, the CEO of this company has issued a self-serving statement. Does anybody have anything to contradict that? Because if they don't, that self-serving statement counts. And calling it a self-serving station is a misnomer. Because I've never seen an affidavit filed that wasn't self-serving. That's the purpose of testimony. You testify to better your position. The idea that someone gets up on the stand and testifies, you go, well, of course you can say that it helps your position. That's why they're testifying. That's the purpose of evidence. I go into court and present evidence that supports my case. Oh, that's self-serving. A federal judge said that. Wow. So self-serving declarations filed by the CEO don't count in a TRO hearing. Keep 16 let me be a judge. I still say no, but I know I do a better job than you. For similar reasons, the judge says the company not shown that its constitutional claims against the sheriff are likely to succeed. Put simply, there is not enough evidence at this time to suggest that the company's constitutional rights are violated, right?
Earning Skyward's miles to spend on flights, upgrades, and more is easy. It's as easy as booking hotels, shopping online, and using your Emirates Skyward's MasterCard. So yes, earning Skyward's miles is as easy as enjoying your upgrade.
The number one in America. In a row. He's also the biggest. IMAX.
Let's go!
Captain America Brave New World AT-13.
He emphasized that his order does not now address whether the company's rights were violated, nor whether the defendants violated any laws. But at this time, they have not put enough evidence up there. The question is not to put enough evidence up to win the case. They put up enough evidence to get a TRO. And apparently, in this court, there's no distinction. So the company now argues the traffic stop for protection, ostensibly justified by minor traffic violations, but aimed at generating revenue for the sheriff's department. Sheriff Deputy Jonathan Franco claimed the November 16th stop, which resulted in the seizure of $712,000, was justified because the van was following a tractor trailer too closely. When the same deputy pulled over the same vehicle driven by the same employee in December, according to the lawsuit, they claimed the driver slightly exceeded the speed limit and prematurely activated his turn signal. And for that, pull the car over, search and seize the contents. Yeah, so just in case you're curious, in your travels to San Bernardino County, assuming the laws apply equally, let's assume equal justice under the law right now in San Bernardino County. San Bernardino, okay? If you're driving through San Bernardino and you accidentally use the turn signal early, they might pull you over and take all your money. Because that's what in that case, the complaint says the driver's operation of the vehicle was completely lawful. The company says the deputies had planned to stop in advance and would have pulled over the driver and the vehicle regardless of how carefully or lawfully it was driven. This time the deputies took about $350,000, which apparently is something of a letdown for them. Based on audio recording by the van's security system, one of the deputies said, "That's it," and then laughed. And then he said, "You set the bar too high." When another deputy remarked that he thought he'd get $1 million or $2 million, the first deputy responded, "At least we got over $1 million," apparently referring to the combined take from the two seizures. So that's the first half of the story, and it goes on and on more details. I love Reason.com. I love the Institute for Justice. I've actually corresponded with them, and I'm going to do a follow-up on just them one of these days because they do such great work. And this is the kind of battle without the Institute for Justice, it would be impossible because most people cannot afford to fight this. Now, obviously, a company that's lost over $1 million in cash at the roadside being robbed by sheriff's deputies, they can afford to chase that down, and I hope they do. But the case, like the guy with $14,000, it cost more than $14,000 to try that case. I guarantee it. I'm talking about those appeals and so on. So the fact that Institute for Justice exists is, number one of the only reasons we're hearing about this, and number two, the only reason that anything is done about it. So they're a great organization. Reason.com published the story. Jacob Sullivan wrote it. It's extremely well written. They're very well detailed. And the points that we're making here, much of it is drawn directly from the judge's opinion. The judge wrote these things, entered it, court order, opinion, and the this situation right now, where the police figured out that yes, they can pull over armored vehicles. Now, I suspect that this is not the big like Brinks truck you imagine. It's more of like a up armored van or something. But the point is that they know a van is traveling through Burke County carrying cash. No one feels sorry for it because it's not a bank. It's a company that transfers cash, a lot of it for legally licensed marijuana businesses. So we can grab it, who's going to complain? Oh, the reason.com, Institute for Justice, and some people on YouTube. So yes, my viewer predicted this in the comments. When did they start grabbing armored cars? Now. So that's going to wrap it up for this show. I'm going to thank a bunch of people, especially the ones who sent me most recently, but the gentleman who has an unusual name, I asked her to pronounce it, so I feel like he didn't say his name. And so the class reps of the group of people who sent that story, Safet, S-A-F-E-T. I said, how do you pronounce that? He said, well, I've heard it pronounced many different ways, don't worry about it. But technically, it's Safet. So there you go. Thank you. Question, Counselor, welcome to the second minute. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Leto's Law. I have a new philosophy. I'm only going to dread one day at a time. Welcome once again to Leto's Law. Here's Steve Leto.
I do stories in civil past and forfeiture. People know that. When the stories pop up in the news, I get tons of comments about them, and people sending me saying, Steve, do this story. And this story may be the story reported to me by the most people. Not going to mention the word again, we can be here all day again. But policing for profit alleged as Nevada troopers sees vets life savings during a stop. KRNV. MyNews4.com ran Kim Burrows wrote it, and this is the kind of story that it's sad when it happens. It shouldn't be happening anymore. But it gets more attention, which is good. I did a story recently about a politician with money taken. And I said, if they start taking the money from the wrong people, then maybe we get the attention we need. Well, here they took the life savings of veterans, and it was documented on camera. And the backlash to this story was so big that
these hands care for the herd. My hands need to be tough and sensitive. When my hands are dry and cracking, it's hard to do my job. That's why I use a key.
It's America's #1 selling hand cream for guaranteed relief.
And if it works for these hands, it'll work for yours.
Also try our new hand and body lotion.
In over your head with the price of doing laundry these days? Arm & Hammer Deep Clean Liquid Detergent.
this is the kind of thing that, like I said, more of this in the news, we can possibly get civil ass forfeiture ended. A retired Marine is now suing the Nevada Department of Public Safety for property taken during a traffic stop. The case is now in the national spotlight. A state trooper with the Nevada State Patrol pulled the man over on I-80 east of Sparks in February of 2021. The trooper shadowed him, followed his vehicle for several miles. On the video, the trooper says the driver of this vehicle is following the red and blue semi-truck too closely, less than a second following distance. Now, the man, the veteran, was in a rental car with Texas license plates. He was driving from Texas to California to go visit his daughters. When the trooper approaches the car, he tells the man about the enforcement campaign they're doing. They're doing a traffic enforcement campaign. Hey, the reason I'm stopping you, we have a special enforcement campaign going on. We're trying to educate drivers about violations they may not realize they're committing, but we're seeing a big increase in crashes out here. First, applaud you on your driving. You drive great. You came up behind a red and blue tanker truck a little bit too close. So he walks up to buttering the guy off, and they said, "Bud, I had to pull you over because you were falling too close." The officer then asks the Marine to step out of the car. He's a retired Marine. But every time I say this, push back and say, Steve, once a Marine, always a Marine. But you get the point. They ran his license, which came back clean. He then asked the Marine a series of questions that his trooper did about where he's going, why, and about the rental car. The Marine explained just before he's going to leave Texas, one of his rims on his vehicle cracked, so he had to rent a car. And then the police officer starts drilling him. Lots of people that are smuggling contraband through our state and across the country, things like that. Anything in the vehicle I should be aware of. Trooper said, no, nothing. Okay, no firearms? Nothing. No explosives? None. Okay, any drugs in the vehicle? None. Cocaine? See, the average person to go, if I had cocaine, I would have said yes to the drugs. But, and then the vet says, I don't do drugs. Trooper says, yeah, I gotta ask my silly questions, right? The vet says, no drugs. Trooper says, any large amounts of United States currency in the vehicle? And the vet goes, sure. Trooper goes, okay, what's a large amount of U.S. currency to you? And the vet says, I don't know, $10,000? Trooper says, okay, so there's over $10,000 there. The vet says, yeah. Trooper says, okay, how much money you got there? The vet goes, a lot. Trooper says, fair enough. Would you give me permission to search your vehicle today? The vet says, sure. And as many people are going to know, that was the mistake. Because they have no reason to search the car. If you ask to search, you just say, no, I'm sorry, I don't feel like it. Nothing in there for you to see, but I'm in a hurry. I can only assume the search is going to drag us out, so no thanks. So the vet told KRNB that he was trying to be transparent. I had nothing to hide. I have nothing to hide. Looking back, I wish I had not done that. The trooper found a stack of $100 bills that totaled $86,900. Now the news story here points out, just in case you don't know this, carrying cash is not illegal in Nevada. Can you imagine it was illegal to carry cash in Nevada? The trooper calls in other law enforcement officers and makes a call to a Drug Enforcement Administration agent. So remember, they found money. They called the DEA. A drug-sniffing dog is brought in, and the trooper claims that the dog made a positive hit on the car and the stack of money. Now, the TV station points out that studies show a majority of cash contains some drug residue on it. But the officers tell the vet they're taking his cash. They left him with $10. They took all his money, but they gave him $10, which was not enough, obviously, to keep gas in the car to get into California. It wasn't enough to rent a hotel room. And it wasn't even enough to get home in the rental car. He had to call his brother, and his brother to wire him money so he could finish the trip. So at the side of the road, they robbed him of $86,890. They let him keep $10. And I hate to be the one who points this out, but if it was all tainted money, why did they keep the $10 too? Well, Steve, you gotta leave with something. Well, why $10? The money right there is my daughter's. The vet explains to the trooper that again is captured on body cam video. I'll take that money right there, buy put food on the table. I buy clothes with that right there. Law enforcement officers say they have to make sure it's not involved in the drug trade. Civil forfeiture laws are meant for criminals, but today critics argue because of flawed federal and state laws, many departments use forfeiture to benefit their bottom line. So they call this a federal adoption. The feds came in and adopted the money because, as you know, this man wasn't treating money properly. That money should be sent upstate New York where it can fall into the fields near the reserve, the Federal Reserve. So when asked why he had the money, he said, that's my life savings that I've been saving since I went into the Marine Corps in 2000. I've been saving that money for the last 20 years. It was his life savings, and he earned it while serving our country in the armed forces. And he gets thanked for that by cops on the side of the road stealing from him. Okay, Roger. What we're going to do, I believe, is drug proceeds. The dog alerted to it. The vet asks, drug proceeds, sir? By the way, he's still referring to these guys as sirs. What's sad about this, on so many levels, is the vet is still being respected. Because the vet, at least in the Marines, answered questions. Respect. Yes, sir. No, sir. That's my money, sir. So he's asked, told, the dog alerted to it. He actually asks, drug proceeds, sir? The trooper says, yes, it's very common, sir. We get people that are trafficking large quantities of marijuana from Northern California to all states east, even from there. Here's the problem. How much marijuana did they find in the bus? Zero. Stop talking about marijuana. There's no marijuana involved in the story. Why not say it's human trafficking? Why not say there's a nuclear device in there? You can't just make this stuff up. I mean, they do what they should. You get trafficking large quantities of marijuana. Good for you. Go stop them. All you can allege this guy's doing is transporting his own money. The vet explains he doesn't trust banks, which I got stories for you there for another video about banks. He says he's carrying the money that way because he doesn't trust banks. The video also shows he has a stack of bank receipts accounting for the withdrawal of that cash. So people ask me all the time, Steve, if I withdraw money from a bank and I'm worried about traveling with somebody can seize, don't I get off scot-free if I've got receipts from the bank? No. They'll say it was tainted money before you put it in. So in this case, some of the money came out of a bank. I don't know how much, because he also says he doesn't trust banks. But it might be that he didn't trust the bank to wire the money for him. So he withdrew it to take it to his daughters.
¿Ha tenido un accidente? Comuníquese con las oficinas legales de Brandon J. Broderick, con un equipo dedicado a accidentes disponible los 24 horas al día, 7 días por la semana. Están comprometidos a tratarlos con genuina empatía y compasión. Ubicado en nuestra comunidad, Brandon J. Broderick se dedica a servirle a nuestros vecinos. ¿No es reconfortante saber que existe una empresa local que prioriza su bienestar y lucha por lo que le corresponde? Sus abogados han conseguido cientos de millones en acuerdos y veredictos. Y recuerda, solo pagan si ganan. Llame ya a 866-429-4947 o visítenos en brandonjbroderick.com para iniciar.
A 3% IRA match with Robinhood Gold, the reckoning has commenced.
He tells the trooper, you're taking food out of the kid's mouth. The trooper says, like I said, we believe right now this is drug proceeds. This is illicit currency. The vet says, well, I'm going to prove to you that it's not. The trooper goes, perfect. Walks away. Now, here's the thing. The trooper says, we believe this is drug proceeds. We believe right now this is drug proceeds. Let's assume that statement is true. That trooper actually believes that. He believes that based on what? The guy's got cash on him, and they claim the dog alerted to something, but there are no drugs anywhere here. And so they just go, well, you've got money, we believe it. You need to learn what to believe. You sound very, very gullible, very, very impressionable. Because we've also pointed out that these drug dogs aren't terribly accurate. And unless the dog actually explains to you what he thinks he's alerting on, I think most will now consider drug dogs about as accurate as PG works. The Department of Public Safety did not comment on the case. DEA spokeswoman said they couldn't comment on it either. The non-profit group Institute for Justice, doing the Lord's work, took on the case. Attorneys on behalf of the vet filed federal and state lawsuits to stop forfeitures from happening to innocent people. The federal lawsuit was dismissed because they returned the man's cash. And they returned the man's cash, and I'm reading from the story, after a national media agency picked up on the story. But meanwhile, state cases continue. But again, reading between the lines, the man gets pulled over, all his money gets taken. He complains, and they say, sorry, we think the money's taken. Because of a media backlash and lawsuits being filed by the Institute for Justice, they give his money back. Oops, we got caught with our hand in the cookie jar quick. Give his money back. So they did, but the state case is still proceeding. Because in the state case, we're challenging the constitutionality of these stops and seizures, the vet says. I'm glad we're continuing to move the case because I've got my money back, and no, the fight's not over. We're going to continue to take the fight to the federal government, the state of Nevada, so we can keep these things from happening to anyone down the road. And again, my hat's off to the vet who was respectful through entire stop is being robbed by our law enforcement officers. And now he's pointing out, despite the fact he got his money back, he's going to continue to fight. A lot of people, when they got their money back, would say, I got my money back, I'm out of here. Litigation is slow, it's painful, it's long, it drags out, and most people walk away from this. So I suspect they grabbed the money from the wrong guy, and I say it's the wrong guy for a couple of reasons. One of which is he's willing to fight this on principle now. This guy's my hero. News points out often civil forfeiture cases are hard to fight. It can cost more money to hire an attorney than the seized property is worth. KRNB sat down with an attorney to analyze the traffic stop. He said that the vet did everything right. He was polite, he was forthcoming, and he was truthful. And that gets to the question, if they ask if you got cash on you, and you lie about it, and they find the cash, and they say, oh, you lied about the cash. You must be trying to hide something. And so if you say, yes, I got the cash, well, they're going to take it because you got cash. And it sounds like a no-win situation. Obviously, the answer is to say, somewhere along the line, you know something, I'm sick and tired of answering questions, no offense, sir, but I've got places to go. You've already told me the only thing that you think I was doing wrong was following too closely that truck up there. Am I going to get a ticket for that or not? Because I kind of like to go, I got to go see my daughters. And move on that way. But the attorney said the only thing he did wrong was consent to a search of his vehicle. The trooper needed probable cause, which he did not have. And as everyone watching the video is going to type in the comments, until I point this out, is that they can invent the probable cause and claim they had a reason. And that's more likely what would happen in a case like this. But the attorney said it's unlikely law enforcement would have arrested him for following too closely, which would have then led them to being allowed to search the vehicle. And he said, however, this case is what we call policing for profit. That is, they're out doing their jobs, not to do their jobs, but to see how much money they can pick up along the way, because when the money is adopted by the feds, they often give a slice to the finding agents for the adoption process. So it's a crazy story. It's one of the worst I've heard. We hear these stories, and this stuff happens much more often. It just doesn't make national headlines because it happens so often. So when it makes the news, it's because they seize the money from a pastor. They seize the money from a politician. Here they seize the money from a guy who served the Marines for 20 years. He's going to visit his daughters and take care of them. Here's the guy who's doing everything right. This is the kind of guy that we should be celebrating as Americans. And instead, he's at the side of the road being robbed by cops. So, KRNB had that version of the story, but that was all over the internet. You can simply type in asset forfeiture theft, and you'll see a whole raft of cases on this story. Keith Burrows wrote this version for MyNews4.com, KRNB. And I want to thank everyone who sent it. Like I said, I couldn't thank everyone who got it tonight, but I do appreciate it. Questions or comments for below stuff.
Thank you for watching Leto's Law. When we look at our lives as a whole, our current difficulty is like a cloud. Although large, it will soon pass.
In a world filled with nasal congestion, one hero rises. Afrin No Drip. Experience ridiculously powerful nasal congestion relief in seconds. No drips, no mess, just unblocked breathing. Whether it's allergies or a cold, Afrin is your go-to solution for nasal congestion. Afrin, wow, it's real.
It's as directed.
Welcome once again to Leto's Law. Here's Steve Leto.
Every now and again, my inbox gets pummeled by stories and Steve, have you seen this? Have you seen this? Have you seen this? And that's an indication of a couple of things, not least of which is it's something people want to talk about. But it's also something that's poked the nerve. And this story is one such story sent to me by countless people. But John Archibald wrote this, AL.com. And I've seen this pop up in 4 places. It is a very, very well-written, well-researched story about a major problem in a small town down south. But it's also something that shows you what can happen when the people in charge of the police department of a small town kind of lose their way. So the headline is, police in this tiny Alabama town suck drivers into a legal black hole. So he gives the example of a man named Ramon Perez who came to court last month ready to fight tickets he handed in Brookside by Brookside police. And one was for, they claimed he had rolled through a stop sign, and another for driving 48 before. Now, he said that he saw the cop before he got to the stop sign, so he knows he stopped. He said, I saw him and we looked eye to eye. There's no way I'm going to run that stop sign. Now, a lot of people right now, early on as far as people will stop signs. Maybe he did. Well, here's the deal. When he got to court in December, he saw scores of people just like him lining up to stand before a judge, complaining of petty anti-crimes and harassment by the police there. He saw so many people trying to park in the grassy field outside the building that police had to direct traffic. And the reporter confirmed that on days that you report the traffic tickets, so many people show up that they've actually got to find extra parking for them, direct the parking, and it's like going